Hello everyone. Today I am going to tell you about the spiral matrix, that how to print the spiral matrix question. Okay. So basically I am going to dry run the things and going to tell you that how this dry run works and how to print the spiral matrix. So first of all, spiral matrix means that if this is the matrix which is given over here, then it should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 8 10 11 12. Like this the element should be printed. What should be the output over here? It should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. First this, then after that 10 11 12. So this is what needs to be printed in the spiral matrix. So moving ahead, now think about the situation, like how to think about the spiral matrix, how to print it, right? So just you have to think it by yourself, then you have to take the approach over here. Just think in this manner. This is the starting row, right? Or you can say I need a matrix which can give me the limit, right, that it gets printed from over here to here, that it should cover one entire row, then it should cover one entire column, then it should cover one entire row again, then it should cover entire column again. In the similar way the things happens. So basically you have to think in this manner, right? So don't you think that we should take one variable which is going to store the current value and one variable which is going to store the maximum last element of the row, means the last value of the row, so that the element between them gets printed over here. So for that reason what I am going to do, I am going to take one starting row which will be equals to 0 and the ending row which is equals to n minus 1. So here 1 2 3 4 which is going to be equal to 3. So like this the starting row and the ending row we are taking, so that we can keep the track of the elements lying between them. Okay. Now moving towards the column. After starting row and ending row, moving towards the column like this one. So for that what we need one column also, so that in the way I was saying about the row. I'm so sorry. The way I need to track the rows so that each and element gets printed from there, we need one column also, so that every element of the column gets tracked up, right? So we are going to create a starting column and ending column, which is going to be the last element. It is in the ending row it is going to be 2, 0 1 2, and in the ending column it is going to be 3. Now see over here, just think about this, that first of all we have to print this top element which is 1 2 3 4, right? So we are taking from starting column which is equals to 0 0. This is the 0th column, first column, second column, third column. So we are going to take one loop which is going to run from starting column which is from 0 to the ending column, right? In the first one it should run like this, so that the first rows column gets printed up over here. Now moving towards this part, what we need for printing this part, we need starting row. The element should not be repeated over here while printing. So that's why we are going to do starting row which is equals to 0 right now. This is the first row, this is the second row. We want the element to be printed from the first row, and here what you are seeing that the rows are changing, right? So here we will do starting row plus 1 and it is going to go till ending row. For printing this is for printing the top part, this is for printing the left part. Okay. Now we have to print the bottom part. Now in printing the bottom part also, you would see that if we take from ending column and starting column, from ending column to starting column, then 6 would also get repeated over here. In order to avoid that 6, what we are going to do basically, that we are going to take the element from end column minus 1, like from this column we are going to take the element. So what we are going to do over here, that for printing the bottom part, what we will do, we are going to do end column minus 1, and it should be end column minus 1 should be greater than equals to starting column. So in this way, this part is going to be printed. Okay. Now moving ahead, we want this part now 10 to be printed. So just see, we want this part to be printed, right? We are going to do starting row plus 1 for this one and ending row minus 1. So for printing this part, we will do ending row minus 1, which would be greater than or equals to starting row plus 1, and then the top left bottom right part is going to be printed. Okay, now I have to repeat this pattern again, but for the second row, right? But for this row I have to repeat this pattern. So for doing this, what I am going to do, that I am going to do starting row plus 1. After running this whole code, what we will do, we will do starting row plus plus. So it will come here, and so we did this so that this part again do not get covered up, right? So we will do the similar thing, that we are going to do ending row minus minus, because this part has already got printed. So starting row plus plus, ending row is going to be done minus minus. Then similar thing will happen with starting column also, like the first column elements has got printed. So what we will do, we will just move this part, so it will become starting column plus plus. Okay, and if similar thing will happen with ending column, like we do not want to repeat this column again, right? So for not repeating it, what we will do, that we will do ending column minus 1 minus minus. So okay, this is the logic, the way you have to think. I was just dictating the way you need to think, how to, like, see, when you are going to sit in the interview now, you have to, or for giving the assessment, you will be given different questions, like different questions with the same logic. So you need to think that how I have to think, that I have to take these many variables. So that's what I was trying to give you all a track, that when you take starting row, when you take ending row, so you need one element like this, that it starts from starting row, it ends from ending row, and the between elements gets covered up. Similar thing happened with the starting column and ending column. This shows that starting column, ending column, starting row, ending row, we need these 4 variables. Okay, and now after doing this, how to print it, like I showed you, and then I just tried to show you that how to print the elements of the next part. And now moving ahead, do you feel that if we will do this part, so we need one more loop that is gonna to do this every time, right? So we will keep this entire thing in a loop where starting row would be greater than or equals to smaller than or equals to ending row, and then starting column is smaller than or equals to ending column, and this entire will be kept in the while loop. Then this whole program is going to work over here. Okay, and then I will show you one edge case while dry running it. Then you will realize that how the things work, like till what level you need to think. Okay, so this was for the spiral matrix logic. Now moving ahead, for its code, let's write this code properly. So the code is going to be while starting row is smaller than or equals to ending row. And you might be thinking that why did we took smaller than or equals to, like why we took equals to, start smaller than to you are getting, but why we took equals to? See, equals to we took because when we did starting row plus plus and ending row minus minus, if we would have not done starting row equals to ending row, then this part would have got messed up, right? That's why we have put this condition. similar with column. This side though we are having in the even number. This side it won't affect much. Okay. And starting column greater than smaller than or equals to ending column. And how it is going to work? We are going to create a variable which is going to store the starting row, and it will be always smaller than or equals to ending row, and we are going to do I plus plus. Then what is going to be printed for the top part? I am doing it for the top part is that starting row, suppose the name is matrix of the given matrix. Okay, so matrix, guys, I'm so sorry, it's not row, it is going to be column, because here the column is changing. By mistake I did row, it is going to be column, ending column. Okay, I plus plus, so it would be matrix. Here the row is fixed, which is the starting row, starting over here, which is the 0th element. Okay, so matrix of starting row, and I is going to be printed over here for the top part. Now moving towards for the bottom part, moving towards for the bottom part, towards the left part. This side it won't be visible to you. Wait, let me move to the next page. Now moving towards when you want to print the left part. For printing the left part, what we are going to do? For printing this part, what you are going to do is, let me turn this camera like this, it would be clear to you. So when I am printing the left part, so what I am doing over here is, in order to print the left part, what I'll do is that, see, for the left part, what I have to do over here, just think of it as I told. Here what it is changing, starting row is changing, and we don't want this element 4 to be printed. So for that case, what we are going to do, we are again going to apply the for loop, where the j is going to be equals to starting row plus 1 and j will be smaller than or equals to ending row and j plus plus. So here the matrix of what? Here the column is fixed, so here j is changing, means row is changing, and here we are going to do ending column. So in this way the left part is going to be printed. So top part I showed you, left part I showed you. Now moving towards the bottom part. Now for printing the bottom part, you just see that what is changing. This part, column is changing every time, and as it is covered in here, this part is already covered, so we are taking from -1, right? So for printing the bottom part, I am going to do for, suppose I am taking this 10k. So for k equals to ending column -1 and k is always greater than or equals to starting column, and k will be minus minus. Then the matrix of, here what is fixed? Here the ending row is fixed, right? So here the matrix of ending row and k is going to be printed over here. Now moving towards the right part. Now moving towards the right part, what we are going to do, here these two elements have been already printed, so we are going to do end column -1, and what is changing over here, row, ending row -1, what is changing over here, the row is changing. So for printing the right part, I am going to take, suppose L I am taking, so L is going to be ending row -1 and it would be greater than or equals to starting row +1 and L minus minus will be done, and then you are going to print matrix of what? Matrix of L, and the column is fixed over here, which is the starting column. And I am going to show you the edge cases, but before dry running I am not going to show you because it is going to confuse you. So now moving ahead, for the dry run part, I have created over here I, J, K, L, right? And what else is the starting row, ending row, starting column, and the ending column. Okay, so now what I have to do is that in the I part, for the I part, what is going to be stored over here? 0. Now let me turn the camera like this. Yeah, see what is going to happen now for the I part. Right now I am printing I equals to starting row is the right. See over here, the thing which I have printed, I equals to starting column is there, right? So I am going to write I equals to starting column. Starting column is basically 0, and the ending column is basically what? 3. So the condition is applied for 0 to 3. Just see this pattern, okay, and see when I stands for the column part, and here it is going to be printed from 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Why? Because when I plus plus is done over here, first of all I is 0, so the 0th element is going to be printed. See over here, matrix of starting row and I. Starting row is basically starting row I have stored in the starting row 0, and for the ending row it is 2, and for the starting column it is 0, and the ending column is 3, right? So see, in the same manner what it is going to happen, that when I equals to starting row is there, so I equals to starting column is there. I'm so sorry, because in the top part the column is changing. So I equals to starting column is, when I equals to starting column is there, so in the 0th element is stored, and the given condition is still the ending column, so it is going to be 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, these elements are going to be printed, because see, according to the given condition is, so according to the given condition, first for applying the while loop, it should pass while as starting row should be smaller than or equals to ending row, and then starting column should be greater than smaller than or equals to ending column. So just see that is the starting row is smaller than ending row, and starting column is smaller than ending column. Yes, so it passes the while loop. Now for printing the top part, we have created I equals to starting row. So I equals to starting row, which is the 0th element. So it is so array of starting row and starting column, which is the 0th element, is going to be printed over here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be printed. Like first of all 1 is printed, then I plus plus, it again became 1, starting row plus the column which we are printing I. So starting row is 0, and I is this time is 2. So 1 and 2 is going to be printed. Now moving ahead, it becomes 2. So 2, 3 is going to be printed. Then it becomes 3. So 4 is going to be printed, because starting column greater than or equals to ending column, the condition is smaller than or equals to ending column, the condition which we have applied. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when it becomes 4, so the condition, the loop iterates over here because it didn't fulfill the condition. So we got the top element, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in order to get the left element, the left part of the matrix, what we are going to do, we are taking J, right? So J would be 1, because we have taken from starting row plus 1 and till the ending row is 2. So we are going to take here this for the left part, matrix of J, and the ending column is fixed over here. So matrix of J is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what is going to be printed over here? Matrix of first matrix of first, which is matrix of 1, and the ending column, which is 3. So if 5 is going to be printed over here, then 6 is going to be printed over here, and because after 2 it became 2, and when it became 3, condition iterates over here. Now for printing the bottom part, top part got printed, left part got printed. Now for printing the bottom part, what condition we have applied? Ending column minus 1. So ending column minus 1 is basically 2, right? So inside the K, 2 is going to be stored first, and what is the condition? K should be greater than or equals to starting column. Starting column is 0, right? See, starting column over here is 0. So from 2 to 0 it is going to be printed over here. So just apply your brain now. What is the element at the 2 position? It's 7, and the end row, what is the end row? 3rd. So this element got printed over here, 0, 1, 2. So end row is 2 over here. So the element which is going to be printed over here is 7. Okay, then we move 2 from, then 1 we are going to get. For 1, this is 2, this is 1. So for first part, 8 is going to be printed. Then it became 0. So 0 and 0, then 9 is going to be printed. So 7, 8 and 9. Now when minus, it will become minus 1. Condition did not fulfilled. So now the bottom part also got printed over here. Moving ahead, now we are going to print top, left, bottom and the right part. For the right part, what the condition is? That it should be starting row plus 1 and ending row minus 1, right? And the column is fixed over here, which is the starting column. So starting row plus 1, ending row minus 1, which we are doing over here. So the starting row right now is 0. So plus 1 and ending row minus 1 is 0. So the condition is going to be applied till this case. So for the condition is going to be applied for this case. So for applying the condition, what we are going to do, that we are going to print this part. How? Because here we have fixed the starting column and L is changing. So matrix of L and starting column is the first part, which is the 10th. So 7, 8, 9. Now 10th got printed over here. Now just see that if we are going to do 0, so is it so that the condition is going to be fulfilled? Not at all, because it got smaller. The loop iterates over here. So this entire one row got covered up. Now moving towards the second row, we have to do starting row plus plus, as I have shown you in the condition. But I'm so sorry guys, I forgot to write it over here, but I have written it over here while thinking. We are going to every time do starting row plus plus, ending row minus minus, starting column plus plus, ending column minus minus. Okay, this we have to do every time. Now when starting row plus plus is going to be done, so it becomes first, and ending row minus minus, when it is done, it also becomes first. Starting column plus plus 1, ending column minus minus, it becomes, when ending column minus minus, it becomes second. Okay, so in this case, like this it works over here. Now again the conditions are going to be applied. For the left part, starting row plus 1, which is the I. I know it is going to become a bit clumsy, but till now if you would have understood, then you would get the points which I am going to write right now. please try to understand. So see, when I have to do starting column, okay, I am taking starting column. So starting column is over here first, because as it changed over here first. So I am going to take the starting column first and the ending column. And you know, before this condition applies, you have to fulfill this, that starting row should be greater than or smaller than or equals to ending row, and starting column should be smaller than or equals to ending column. Check the condition. Is it so? Yes, it is smaller than, it is it is C. So it is over here also fulfilling. Then we move inside. Then the matrix of starting row is going to be fixed, which has turned as 1. So matrix of 1, and the starting column this time is 1. So starting row 1, starting column 1, 11 got printed. So 9, 10. Now 11 got printed over here. Now we move toward starting column I plus plus we did, right? Now we move towards starting row I. So starting row is fixed over here. Now moving towards I, when we did I plus plus, so after this it would have turned in 2, and the ending row is 1. So the condition did not fulfill and it got cancelled up over here. Now for the left part, so I'm so sorry guys. Here it is what here it is. Here I have compared it with the starting row. It's not with the starting row, you have to compare with the column, right? So here it will be 11, and then it is going to be printed over here, this top part 12. Now moving towards the left part, what you are going to observe in the left part, just observe this observation very carefully. In the left part is the jth part, right? And this all has got cancelled up. In the jth part, it's starting row plus 1. Starting row is currently 1. Starting row plus 1 becomes 2. And it is very true that we here also we didn't want to repeat the same element, no? Then we did starting row plus 1. So here also we will do starting row plus 1, and we are going to do compare it with the ending row, right? So when we are going to compare it with the ending row, then ending row over here is 1, which does not fulfill the condition. So nothing is going to be printed in the left part. Now the loop is going to move towards the bottom part. So in the bottom part also, what it is going to happen, we have taken end column minus 1. So end column, right now end column has become 2. So it will be 1. End column will become 1 over here, right? Just observe the, here only you are going to get the edge cases, okay? So just observe it very carefully. When end column will become minus 1, so it has become 1, and the condition is applied that end column is always gonna to be greater than starting column, right? So check the starting column, that 1, and here the starting column has also become 1. So 1 is greater than or equals to 1, right? So the bottom part is again going to be repeated over here. Are you getting it? So what will happen over here now, that the bottom part is again going to be printed over here, and it will again got printed 12 and 11. The element got repeated up. Just see over here. So this was the only edge case which I was talking about, because the condition we have applied that the k should be greater than or equals to starting column. Now here we have applied the condition that k should be greater than and equals to starting column, and when we did a starting column as 1, in the starting column when we changed it to 1, and when we did k equals to end column minus 1, right? Because we didn't wanted the same elements to be printed, and the end column is right now 2, and end column minus 1 happened, so it became 1. So end column minus 1, and when we applied the condition, so 1 greater than or equals to 1, this condition was applied. So this is fulfilling right now, right? So what will happen, that the matrix of end row currently is 1. So matrix of end row and the matrix of the k is gonna to be matrix of end row and the matrix of k, which is first right now, is going to be repeated over here. So matrix of k, so basically see over here, I'm writing over here. So I know it won't be visible, but let me write it. I'll show you in the next page. So matrix of end row, which is end row is currently 1, and the k K is basically 1. So matrix of first row and the first column is going to be again repeated, which is 11 is going to be again printed where, but in reality this is not going to happen. So we need to apply the edge case over here, right? And then when it is going to do k minus minus, so when it is going to be 0, so is 0 greater than or equals to starting column? No. So this time the condition didn't get fulfilled over here, okay, because it would have become what, 0th row and first column. So the condition didn't get fulfilled over here, and that's why we iterate through this loop, okay. And but here one more element 11 got printed, so in order to avoid it we have to apply the edge cases. So here 11 extra got printed up. Moving towards L equals to n row minus 1. So n row currently is 1. So L equals to n row minus 1. It will become 0. And we want that L should be greater than or equals to starting row plus 1. So starting is 0 greater than or equals to 2? No. Is 0 greater than or equals to 2? No. So this condition didn't got applied over here. So that in the right part nothing got printed. But if suppose what would have happened now, if there would have been 4 rows, then this would have again got repeated up. So the elements lying in the row would have got repeated up, and if right now this condition is getting fulfilled now, and again we do starting row plus plus, ending row minus minus, ending row minus minus, it turns to be 0, starting row plus plus, and it became 1. So now here while loop is not going to be executed. While loop is here not going to be executed because 2 is not at all smaller than 0 or equals to 0. I'm so sorry. So here the elements now will start getting overlap and duplicate elements are going to be printed. In order to avoid that, we need to apply the condition. So we applied the while loop over here and the condition this. And you might be thinking that why did we apply a starting column and ending column case? We have applied the starting column and ending column case because if it would be 4 cross 4 matrix, means M and N, if it is going to be equal, then it won't affect. But if M and N is not going to be equal, so the minimum element is going to control it. And but if suppose we only write starting row and greater than or smaller than or equals to ending row, so what about the starting column? The elements in the column would not get printed exactly the way we want. So that's why we apply both the cases. And this is what we need to apply now in the edge case. So in the edge case, what we will do, we are going to apply the edge case over here only, that if my starting row equals to ending row, or don't apply, or you could apply like this. If you could apply, now you are going to apply the condition over here, that if my starting row equals to ending row, then break it, and apply the condition for the right part also. Okay, apply the condition for the right part also. If my starting column equals to ending column, then break it. So after applying this condition, what will happen, that the elements is going to be printed in the correct order. I hope it would have been clear, and if you don't get that, just dry run it once, okay, because this question is a medium level question on LeetCode, so you have to practice it and dry run it by yourself, especially the spiral matrix case. I agree that it's a bit difficult question and a bit confusing question if you would be practicing the spiral matrix and these all things for the very first time, no doubt. So I would suggest you rather that you just dry run it. So this was all for today. Keep learning, never give up, and achieve it. Bye bye.